Well, actually, it didn't start with it.
Well, we got to find a way to play it.
It didn't start with the intro. So we are live. I'll tell you what we'll do is when we're in between stuff, I will just play it then. How's that sound? Does that sound all right for you?
Whatever you want to do, babe.
All right. Okay, guys. Actually, I'm gonna roll the intro now.
Roll it, baby.
Because we got stuff we have to do, right?
We have things.
All right.
We have things.
Be right back.
Are we back?
I think we're back. We are back. All right, guys. So, there's a lot to go on. I mean, a lot that we got to discuss. Can you pull up your message that I sent you so that we?
Oh yeah, the message.
So we can be sure that we hit everything. But let's see who we got on. We got the Drew 24 GB 19. We have got Cookie Dough.
Is that Cookie?
Scratching at the door. Yeah. Rio Salvatore. Hey. Robert Kelly is on. Woody says, hey, we are live. It was insane for you to give him that much of a war that soon after a bicep tear and elbow surgery. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for all of the support. So glad to have you on here. Woody says that the sound and video look good. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, so lots going on, guys. Of course, Michael's gonna catch up. If you read the description, he's gonna be diving into all of that stuff. But we've had several matches announced also for the Arlington event.
Yeah, Cory versus Devon. What? Left-handed? Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Cory versus Devon. So Woody, if you could drop that link. You guys want to be sure to go to East versus West armwrestling.com and get that pay-per-view. Or if you're within, I would say 8 hours driving, get you some tickets and go see this thing in person because it is
that new
insane.
The esports arena should be. The esports stadium should be crazy.
Yeah, and I saw Ingen post that this next one is basically, or a lot of the matches are basically going to be like a USA versus Canada.
Well, he said 3 or something. I mean,
yes.
So the other one,
Sarah?
Craig Touye versus John Therian, and Sarah versus, what's the girl's name like that?
Oh, I can't
The one that beat her, though.
I know.
Yeah.
It's not Jocelyn, is it? No. I can't remember her name.
You got to go put something to that.
I got to go fix Cookie. So you guys chat with Michael real quick, and I'll be right back.
All right. Yes, Jocelyn Briston. Yeah.
It is Jocelyn?
Yes, Jocelyn.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah, so, seeing Craig Touye and John Therian, so that's an interesting match because here at the Monster Factory, Brandon Seltzer ended up becoming the champ, beat Craig Touye. And then John Therian just recently beat Brandon Seltzer. But styles make matches, and I still got to favor Craig in that one. But John Therian's a bad dude. I'm excited about that. Seeing Sarah get, she lost that round robin that Jocelyn won. Jocelyn beat her the first time they arm wrestled. So seeing Sarah get a shot at redemption in that, I think is going to be pretty exciting. But Jocelyn definitely is a new up-and-coming talent that the win over Sarah was remarkable. So I think that's going to be a great match, but I think that's one that Sarah has wanted back for a while. And then obviously, Cory versus Devon is going to be insane. Just because they have pulled a lot on the practice table and they both know what the other guys bring in. So we will get to see how much difference practice is from competition. But
Big Throbbing Unicorn says he's interested in Hunter Knopfs and Valen Lowe.
Yeah, I saw that one announced today. Matt Mask versus Angerbayev. Angerbayev's first match back. So, wow. Matt Mask has a long lever, big hand, so problematic in those areas. Angerbayev does have the ability to just throw somebody in the hook too. So that's a pretty interesting match.
Guys, sorry.
There's several others that I know about that haven't been announced yet. Dave Chafee versus Georgi Svekov is crazy.
Anyways, guys, I said
what I was saying is,
yeah, you did.
Oh, sorry.
I am sorry. I haven't eaten.
Yeah.
Have not eaten because I've been busy today getting stuff together for a launching of a new transformation on my channel.
There you go. Yeah, if you're not following Rebecca, what's your channel?
Mrs. Monster Todd.
There you go, Mrs. Monster Todd. She is about to get her ridiculous ridiculously fit body back and get all that strength back that she used to one time possess, thanks to insane ISO and insane labs. So guys, check it out. The Monster Michael stack, if you go on there, it's got like 5 different products or something, plus, you know, a shaker cup, a towel, something else, I don't remember. But it's like 60% off. It's over $300 value, $119.95. Hey, Phil, is there any way you can throw that link? Misha's in the camera.
Misha getting camera
If you can throw that link in there, that'd be cool. But hey, if you guys just want to go on there and order any product other than protein, you can get a pre-workout, you know, creatine.
Still get your proteins because they're awesome.
I'm just saying,
they're amazing.
50% off. Use code Monster50. Give it a shot, try it out. I know a lot of people have their favorite supplements, but I'm telling you, ever since we switched to Insane Labs, Ryan told us about it, and the stuff's amazing. The psychotic pre-workout's ridiculous. The morning insane cuts for cardio is awesome. We pretty much like everything. Go check that out.
Have
so what
they
else are we
announced
talking
the full
about?
card?
No.
I don't think
So
they
we
have
can't
yet.
talk. I mean, John
Okay.
Brzezinski versus Yoshi Kanai is pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be exciting, too.
That is a good one.
Lots of good stuff happening.
Good stuff.
So, hey, this is a good question. I'm actually going to highlight that. Everyone talks about, because you know, you've done a really good job of breaking down matches, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everyone talks about what Ermes could have done to improve from his first match with Levon. But what could Levon do to secure a more dominant victory?
So I believe Levon has the strongest hand and wrist the sport's ever seen. I also believe the only way to beat Levon is through his hand and wrist. I don't think you can go toward him. We saw what Ermes did the first time, and it was all maintaining his pronation once he lost his wrist flexion, right? His hand was back, he maintained pronation, and through that maintaining pronation, he was able to at some point start transitioning in with the side pressure fly press. For Ermes, we believe, if you listen to his numbers, he said his riser number's like 20 kilograms stronger than it was when he pulled Levon. Like crazy increase in strength since he pulled Levon. So for Levon, it's just basically same suit warmed over. Just keep getting stronger in all the areas that you're already the strongest at. I don't think there's anything that technique-wise he needs to change. He just needs to secure the victories. You know, he needs to keep his hands strong, slip. You know, you want him to slip. They're all going to slip. They're going to go strap. And as much rise and pronation that and back pressure through the bicep that Ermes has, he just has to be able to match that, shut it down, and go sideways. But
Well, there you have it.
I truly think Ermes probably has a 25% chance of winning, which is the greatest percentage I've ever given anyone.
Okay,
But it's just, if you listen to him talk about the improvements he's made since the last time he pulled him, I mean, those are large numbers.
So, of course, I edited all of your videos when you were breaking down Ermes matches, and it was clear he's really, like, he's got a high table IQ. He is very fluid, moving on the table, and he's very good at working areas and not rushing to the next move that he needs to make, right? Which that's where a lot of your opponents get in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, recently I had improved my pronation and risers significantly enough to where, like, even people think that Gennady was trying to go outside because he top roped me the first time.
Yeah.
But his wrist failed.
Right.
And once his wrist failed, he had to flop underneath me, right?
Right.
Flopping underneath me is no path to victory. I've shut down that lane. Now, what Ermes did, which was what I knew he was capable of doing, I was hoping I'd be able to shut it down. And there was a couple things that I could have made a slight difference. If I would have taken the buckle instead of giving him the buckle, because I got caught up saying the buckle matters. Well, the buckle matters if you apply pressure tightening and it pulls your hand under. He just had the they just wrapped the strap around. Like, there was no cinching or nothing. So, which is a perfect thing for him, because when I hit with that pronation gauge back pressure, there was no connection. I just went underneath the strap because I had no connection into the strap, which was genius on his part, which allowed him to keep the high knuckle and climb. Right. It was his climbing and defeating my riser that allowed him to get to a position where he could press me, because he was pressing out through my fingers versus into my wrist, right?
He did it perfect.
I mean, flawless.
So would you say...
And the second thing I could have done,
Okay.
if I would have had the buckle, instead of giving him because I won, so I had the option. If I'd have taken the buckle, I could have cinched down real tight, and just through that pronation gauge back pressure, twisted it hard enough to where my wrist is going to go back, but so is his, would have eliminated some of his ability to climb because he wouldn't have such a loose strap. That's hindsight. And the fact is, that would have been round 1 and round 3 versus only getting that shot in round 2 to have a tight strap. So I could have fatigued his hand round 1, wrist a little bit. He probably still wins. Round 2, he would have had a loose strap, probably got higher in my hand, probably would have secured the victory. But round 3, I would have had that super tight strap. That could have, that could have been, if you watched it, it could have been a swing because of the fatigue that was happening in his wrist, because he could not go sideways. He wanted to be able to turn my palm up the way Devon did in 2001. He said my pronation is almost unbeatable, so you can't get that position.
Right. So there's a lot of...
But yeah, he performed flawlessly. He was a better man on the day. I made a couple of mistakes, and there's a couple things I need to fix. And that is, I'm going to keep training all the same things I'm doing, but I am going to try to get because now I have a little bit more time.
Right.
I have a little bit more time, so I'm going to try to tighten up these angles. If nothing else, like... So this hand comes here, this hand comes here. This one opens up to at least here immediately. So maybe I can't get this tight, but as long as I get this strong, and then you run into this strong, and then you get into crazy strong here, you have more areas you have to beat versus just flopping it,
Right.
Like I have this stop, and then I have this stop. I need to have a strong static center,
right.
And if I can develop that strength, that's why yesterday I started doing the riser the way he does it. I'm still once a week going to do my over-the-top knuckle riser the way I do to maintain that strength. And I will start back. I don't think I'm going to do any pronation lifts for like 2 or 3 weeks. But I am training my left. So I have a video coming after this live. I'll be releasing it. So I do have an idea about the reason I'm training the left. But yeah, so my left pronation is horrible. My left pronation engaged back pressure is like non-existent. So I have some areas to shore up on the left to get it real strong. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about the potential.
So,
but I did find out where
your center.
It's not pec decking center.
No, I know it's not. But you started working on that side pressure center. Yeah.
Yeah, I need.
He just started.
I need this tight center.
Yeah.
And then I need this center, right? I need this to be tight here, not just here.
Right.
Like I need to start training. Like the way he does his riser is he wraps it, sits down, and then curls it up. It curls it while maintaining it. So that's a pressure that I need. And I'm going to start doing static starts, like just take the low pulley, the back pressure, the way he trains it through his bicep, and just pull to the center and just hold it. And I'm starting off really, really light. I'm just going to hold it, and then maybe each day add a pound on each side or 0.75 on each side, and just make small increments and just keep doing that until see how much stronger I can get that motion.
Okay, we got Phil Woody dropping the super chat. Thank you so much, Phil. Congrats on the pronation PR lift. New riser lift looks ace. And that's what you've said all along, that each match, win or lose, which you of course wanted to win, but win or lose, it was learning where your holes are so you could shore them up before you face the ultimate test.
Right.
Now, since you've just said that Ermes has a 25% chance, if you make it, when you make it back to that opportunity, it could be Ermes again.
It could be. Listen, Ermes could beat Levon.
He could.
We have no idea.
In which case, you would probably have to pull Levon anyhow, to get there, maybe?
There's a path that I already know about.
Oh, that's right.
There's a path that I already know about.
Yeah.
But let's just say Ermes beats Levon.
Yeah.
There's a chance before I get a shot to pull, Devon comes in and beats Ermes. And now I have to pull Devon. You know what I mean? And to me, Devon presents a different problem.
He presents all the problems.
Than what even Levon presents, right?
Right.
I have a plan for Levon. I really do, and I think I'm going to achieve it. I really think there's a plan in place, and just I have to get strong in the right areas to make it happen. Devon is hard to plan for because he is so versatile everywhere. Now he obviously doesn't have the top end strength that Levon has, but he has the leverage advantage over me. He has experience pulling me. He has a mental game. He's got a lot of things, so he's a difficult opponent. But I do see a path forward where Ermes is pulling Levon in June. I do see a path where I could be the next opponent for Levon. Or the winner of Levon and Ermes.
June is in
United States, North America.
That's weird. Okay.
Yep.
So they will be pulling in North America.
Right.
Are
we talking about that yet?
Possibly. Well,
Arm fellas, what's up?
Arm fellas, thank you so much for the super chat. Wishing you the best, Michael. Keep going forward. Would you like for me to go put Cookie in the side room?
I don't care. It's fine with me. She's a sweetheart.
She is a sweetheart. Why are you...
Hey, is Misha trying to pull this stuff off?
Misha is trying to pull everything off of the table, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great time also for me to thank you for tuning into this live. Be sure that you hit that thumbs up if you have not subscribed yet. Do so, and send out some text messages, social media messages, whatever, to your friends, and tell them to jump on here, because Michael's going to be talking about his next steps at some point.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So what do we got? We already said about what went wrong. What's the next step back in the journey? Yeah.
So it also talks about what was your mindset immediately afterwards. Pretty much like every.
No, I mean, I was like, well, that was not the way I wanted to go.
No.
So got to figure out another path, right? Like, what's the journey now? How do I get there? What do I do? How do I get back on track? And there was a lot of options in my head, because there are a lot of people in that heavyweight division in the top 10 that could potentially interesting matches. Morozov. Well, Morozov's out. He just blew his left pronator. So if he blew his left pronator, he's out for any soon right-handed matches, right? Yorgi Spekov is pulling Dave Chafee in 4.5 weeks. Is that what it is? 5.5 weeks. I don't know how many weeks it is. It's close. It's just coming up pretty soon. 4.5 weeks.
We read that right. Yeah.
So
thank you guys. Thank you so much.
4.5 weeks. You got him pulling Dave Chafee. So. And what I'm looking at is so my original plan was pulling in June, because I was going to take 6 weeks, kind of just lightweight recovery, blah, 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 hard prep for Levon in June here in Hot Springs, going to be amazing. Well, that's not happened. So, Ingen Terzi says that Vitali Leledin is pulling someone in May.
Yes.
I will happily take that match.
Michael's raising his hand.
I will happily take that match. Now, he did mention me. He mentioned Devon. And then he mentioned anyone in the top 10 who's interested to contact him. I've already contacted him, told him how interested I am in that match. Now, understand, I'm not asking for Vitali because I think this is an easy match.
No, it's a big ask.
I think Vitali Leledin poses a serious threat to anyone in the top 10. We saw how close his match was with Ermes 14 months ago. Since then, he's retired in full-time arm wrestling now, right? So I guess he owns the company now, the trucking company.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I just saw a Ryan Bowen video. So yeah, extremely dangerous individual. Every person he's pulled, he's ran over. So yeah, every person he's pulled right-handed. So I'm not asking for the match, because I'm like, I didn't beat Ermes, but I can beat anybody else. I believe I'm capable. I believe I have what it takes and I'm willing to do the work to beat anybody on the roster. Vitali is the match that Ingen has already said, you beat Vitali, you get the shot, right? Beat Vitali, you get the shot. Yes, Vitali's ranked 9th. He's only ranked 9th because since he started competing right-handed East versus West, he hasn't pulled anybody higher ranked than him. I'm sure there's people on that list that...
and he lost to Ermes, right?
Lost to Ermes, right? Yeah. That's the only person he pulled, so he hasn't beat anybody. Okay. There's a lot of people there. Alex Kardashev versus Vitali would be interesting. Yorgi Spekov versus Vitali, interesting. Jerry Cadaret versus Vitali, extremely interesting. You know what I'm saying, right? What you got here?
Arm fellas, if you end up pulling Levon in the U.S., man, I'll do my best to travel to see it. Thank you so much for that support. Thank you for dropping that.
Just to put that out there. If I'm chosen for the match versus Vitali, that means Levon would pull in December. So Levon's all 3 title defenses in 12 months would all be the United States. Because we'd be pulling here again, because I have the Hot Springs venue ready, right?
Right.
And I think Ingen was wanting him to be able to pull in his hometown in Georgia. But I have an amazing venue that's willing to have a lot of support here in Arkansas to make that match happen if I earn the spot, right?
Right.
But what that means is if I was able to get the match and was able to win, that match is in May.
Dennis, that would be 3-0 because it would be best of 5. It's not a championship match. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for that.
What is it?
He thinks you would beat him 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Vitali's bad dude. I have to be able to stop his hit. First, I have to be able to get out of his hand. Then I have to get a good connection to the strap to stop his hit. And from that point, I believe it slowly turns my way, right? But every single time there is a pin, he comes back blasting off on go again like a crazy person. So it's like I used to have to stop Andre Pushkar's amazing side pressure hit just to each round. Like, similar thing. Like, I got to get the win, and then I got to do the whole shit all over again. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he's a bad dude.
Can we talk about it from Vitali's point of view? Okay, Vitali, why would he want to pull you? Well, obviously
I'm ranked number 5.
You're ranked number 5, so
Yeah.
that would definitely get him a bump up.
Yeah.
Should he be victorious?
Right.
But would you be a more difficult match for him than the other people ahead of him? If he was to pull Jerry, who's ranked ahead of you.
So, I personally...
Which he won't be pulling Jerry because Jerry's pulling...
They haven't announced that yet, so you can't talk about it.
Oh.
That's why I didn't mention it earlier.
I thought I saw it.
I've seen no release on it yet. I mean, I haven't seen a flyer yet. Like,
Okay.
I'll go look on East First West page real quick.
Well, just go ahead.
So just give me a second. I'm gonna look now. So boom, 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 boom. Nope, not announced. So it has not been announced yet.
This guy says he's 6'3", 365. Apparently he's not good at arm wrestling. How should I train? Table time.
Yeah, table time's the best. So a lot of people criticize the fact that I don't get on the table as much as a lot of the other top guys do. I've been arm wrestling for a very long time. I know how to arm wrestle. I just need to get strong in the right areas. Over the next 4 weeks or so, I'll probably will do a little more, more table time. But yeah, table time. If you're new to arm wrestling, get with somebody who knows how to arm wrestle. Start practicing technique, and then obviously all the arm wrestling specific lifts that are out there: cupping, rising, pronation, all the good stuff. But yeah, so what that means is I would pull in May, and I would not have a right-handed match again until December. So it's the reason I'm training the left.
Yeah.
Because listen, if I start training the left now, like I did yesterday, and I can have some good gains in 3 months' time, it's February, May, 4 months' time. Who wants to see a rematch with me and Wagner Bortolato left-handed?
Oh.
See if my left arm holds up, or if it comes apart again, right?
I'm just going to tell you, I was standing in front of the stage last time this guy pulled Wagner Bortolato, and as soon as Wagner smashed him to the pad the first
Now that,
round,
honestly, I did not know I was having a left-handed match until like 2 weeks before.
Michael looked at me and he goes, well, there ain't nothing I can do.
Yeah, good news about that. But this gives me 4 months to train.
I wasn't finished.
Go ahead.
Okay, so if we're talking about Vitali from his
Right.
point of view, yes, Jerry's ranked ahead of you, but you could shore that up by fixing that with a match, really quickly.
quick.
But my point is, who is a tougher match for him?
Between who?
You and Jerry.
Me. Jerry, if Jerry sets that flop press, I'm telling you, Vitali does not do well against flop press. So, I mean, we've seen later rounds, Dave Chafee start with the press and set it to where it shut all of Vitali's offense down. It could be what happens to Jerry. I mean, Jerry's probably the best flop presser in the world, right? So that is a very interesting matchup. So who's more difficult? I would say we're equally difficult, right?
Yes.
Equally. Now there is a path to beating Jerry that doesn't take a lot. Ermes showed us how to do it. Yeah, I mean, like
Travis has shown it.
Travis showed it 2016.
Yeah.
Dave Chafee has shown it. Ron Bath has shown it.
Yep.
John Brzezinski has shown it.
Don't go your
John
route.
Brzezinski has also went into very long matches like I have,
Yeah.
and he ended up losing back.
John?
Yeah, yo. That's how when I beat
He's
Jerry.
had 7-minute matches?
No, but he lost a long match. He won one, lost two, and that's how Jerry became the yo-yo champ, because that's why I pulled Jerry for the title. But yeah.
Ocula to cross. Okay, say that for me.
I can't say it.
Thank you so much for the support, and thank you so much for the super chat. He says, top 5 in the world after what you've been through is incredible and inspiring. Keep getting better, Mike. That is the plan.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So just to give you guys a perspective, yesterday was 2 years when I blew my bicep. So surgery was March 3rd, 2023. Now, my first match back wasn't until February of 2024 when I pulled Pavo here. April, Frank. June, Lars. August, Camille. November, I pulled Gennady. And then, boom, here we are. I just had the match in February versus Ermes. So, I'm 5-1 on the comeback. Was 5 matches undefeated. Then I just took a loss. So, if I get the Vitali match and I lose the Vitali match, then I've got to start pulling everybody underneath me, like 7, 8, 9, Alex, Svekov, whoever, right? Or so check this out. This is another path, right? So Jerry Cataret got beat 3-0 by Ermes.
Sorry, was that in front of your
I couldn't
face?
see nothing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
3-0 by Ermes, and then he goes and beats Alex Krejcik 3-0, and he gets a shot, right? So technically, he just lost to Levon. If I pull Jerry and beat him, that could earn me a shot. You know what I mean? But right now, Ingen has said Vitali will pull May. If he wins, he'll pull again in October or August. And I think he pulls May and August, either whether he wins or loses.
Okay.
It's just he would have to win in May, have to win in August to be the next contender.
Okay.
But whoever beats him in May has the option to be the next contender or pull again between then and December.
Okay.
I'm going to take the route. Because remember you guys saying, hearing Devon say that I should take time? And Devon, it's always Levon waiting for the next contender. Well, if I pull in May, which we're going to talk about that match in just a second. If I pull in May, Levon would pull 6 weeks later versus Ermes. So they would have the most recent right-handed match. So I would have more time. And that's what Devon was asking for. He's like, dude, let somebody else pull. You take more time, right? So I would actually be getting an opportunity to pull in May, earn the shot, and then pull a winner that pulls 6 weeks later.
So I'm asking you right now. You said you're raising your hand.
Both hands.
Both hands.
All my hands.
So you want that match?
Yeah. And I'm going to tell y'all, I did not, I told the promotion, Rebecca, anyone who would listen, I was not arm wrestling at East versus West 18 because it's Mother's Day weekend. And this year my mother's birthday is on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So I sure with hell was not going to go travel around the world on Mother's Day. You know, just wasn't going to happen. But I'm not doing this for me, and I know my mom's watching.
She's not just watching; she's with you wherever you go.
So if this is the path that gets me what I've worked for, so be it. You know?
All right, guys. So then do you need to lobby for that match?
Well, I mean, Ingen's already mentioned my name, and he's also mentioned Devon's name.
All of you go on there, everywhere social media.
I mean, even Coach Ray.
And you want to see Michael versus Vitali in May.
Yeah, Coach Ray and Giannis were both talking about a potential match between me and Vitali to see who gets the shot. Because they both want to see me pull Levon just to see if I can stop him.
Who, Ermes and...
No, Coach Ray and Giannis.
Oh, yeah.
They both want to see if I can stop him, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people... Well, listen, there's going to be my supporters who want to see if I can stop him. There's going to be all the haters who want to see my arm get broke, right? So, I mean, either way, people are going to tune in, right? So, I just got to get through this giant Russian with an explosive top row and probably the strongest grip in the sport. So, yeah. No problems.
All right, guys, so spam it. Get on it. Spam it.
Yeah.
MNT versus Vitali in May. All right. So, Andre L., thank you so much for the super chat. He says, hi, Todd. How exactly did you tear your bicep, and how did you tweak training to make sure it won't happen in the future? P.S. Your big friend from Canada.
I had in 2010 when I blew my left arm, I had an x-ray my right arm because I'd never had health insurance. So I never had an x-ray. The doctor found over 70 fractures in my elbow from just these horrible positions I'd arm wrestling and shit. Well, it kept getting worse and worse and worse. Never had surgery on my right arm, never had surgery. Turns out I had an osteophyte, which is a bunch of bone growth from fractures that was about the size, slightly smaller than a tennis ball, in my elbow. Well, apparently the surface of those osteophytes was like a coral reef. So every time I'd use my bicep, my tendon would drag across this rough surface of the osteophytes, and it was shredding my bicep tendon. So my bicep didn't tear in an extended position like most people's. I busted over sideways and slipped right here, and the bicep ripped off the bone because it was, and it didn't just rip off the bone, it shredded north to south. So
yeah, if you guys have ever seen like a cable or a cord or something just stripped and frayed, so the doctor comes out from surgery, right? And it was supposed to be 2.5 hours, it was over 4. And he is going to show me this video, and I'm thinking he's going to show me the range of motion that Michael was able to achieve. It was the frayed bicep tendon.
Yeah,
I may be a nurse. I have seen some extremely gross things, but when it's inside my husband, I don't need to see it.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. And there were like tentacles growing out from the tendon, like because how your body heals itself and tries to something's wrong, so it tries to get strong elsewhere. I had shit attaching to different things, right?
Yeah.
So basically, to follow the final part of the question, go ahead.
Well, that's what I wanted to. So a lot of people were like, but his bicep didn't roll all the way up his arm. Guys, it was really so crazy. And this happens to numerous people. You know how you've developed scar tissue. You can develop adhesions. If you've ever had stomach surgery or something like that, you can develop scar tissue that it attaches to intestines walls. It's never a good thing. But basically, that's what his bicep tendon had done. It had started fraying, so it was literally developing scar tissue and adhesions and attaching to whatever it could find. And that kept the bicep muscle from just going all the way up.
Right.
You know.
So it was a gnarly surgery, right? So,
gnarly.
I mean, when I'm talking about basically reconstruction of my elbow plus repairing the bicep tendon, and that's why I found it comical, because so many people were still talking about, you know, Gennadi's just coming off an injury. I'm like, well, bro, like it was a few months after mine, and mine was pretty serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I was blessed to have a lot of support, a lot of stem cells.
You had everything fall into place at the right time.
Had a lot of things helping me towards that. So, what did I tweak to make it not happen again? Absolutely nothing. My doctor told me about bicep tendon, my bones was splintered apart before my tendon came out again. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Well,
So
let's back that
now,
up.
I am doing arm wrestling specific movements, but
No, let's back
I
that
did
up.
have perfect recovery.
He did
And that
not
was-
one more percentage over what the doctor told him he was allowed to do all along his
Which
recovery.
was shocking, because I am not that guy. Like,
No, he wanted it to be
Yeah.
a good recovery. So if his doctor said you can use this weight for this length of time up until this date, Michael was on it.
Yeah, I did everything I was supposed to do,
Went
from
to
physical
all the physical therapy,
to
yeah.
I mean, and obviously I know how to do physical therapy myself, but listen, this was a big deal for me. You know,
Right.
having a chance to have a healthy arm just made sense, and it was a blessing. And I've said this before previously on other videos. It was so funny because it wasn't 4 months before the injury. We were in UK doing a seminar.
Yeah.
And I told people, I said, I'd be willing to go back to the most basic level of strength if we could find somebody who could fix my elbow so I could have range of motion, right?
It was just
And then,
a few months before.
Yeah,
and
4
then
months later,
God's like,
damn.
I heard you. Let's do that.
yeah, so
You know?
I guess I asked for that, but I truly think it was a blessing. So
Robert Kelly, member for 14 months. Really? Holy cow. That's crazy. Michael Todd is greater than Vitali.
and guys, listen, I appreciate it. And I promise you that if I get the match, I will be the most prepared I've ever been to this point in my life.
Hey.
But that does not guarantee victory. This dude's a badass. So I will give it my very, very best. I promise.
What? Evie Warrior, no shame with the loss. There was no shame with the loss, but it sure did sting.
The loss sucks because I had, I felt like, and the thing is, I told myself 24 months, and we prayed about it and everything. I'm going to commit to 24 months to this goal, because I don't want to be a super heavyweight forever, right? When I say super heavyweight, I'm 265 when I'm abbed up and lean anyway, so I'm still a super heavyweight, but I don't want to be a super, super heavyweight for a long time. I don't like carrying this extra weight, and my body comp doesn't look like I want and all that stuff. But I told myself 24 months. I had just been offered a path that was going to make it happen in 11 months. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I still have plenty of time to do what I said I was going to do. So the loss itself, it really, especially going back and hearing Ermes' take on it, and how much stronger he had been compared to when he pulled Levon and any previous version of himself prior, it lets me know I'm in the mix. Because there are things, even at the same strength level we both were on that day, things that could have been done that might have changed the outcome. If I was going to win, even with the things, it was going to be ugly. Like, it was going to be ugly. And it was going to take a monumental effort. But I would never, oh, sure, let's go to the strap. Like, when he asked me, hey, you want to just go to the strap? I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I'm the guy who has to slip first. Like, I have to know that I'm in the match by slipping in the center of the table. And also that fatigues my opponent's hand a little bit. So I just made some mistakes. He had a perfect performance. He deserved to win. But even at our current strength levels, I think you could run that match back in 2 weeks.
And he offered you a rematch anytime
He
you
did
wanted.
say, yeah.
But no, we want you to face
Listen,
Levon
I don't want a
first.
rematch.
Yeah.
You earned a shot, and
Yes.
we will pull again. But I want him to go pull Levon.
Right, because he looked good.
But that being said, I honestly, if we could do it privately, I'd pull him in 2 weeks just to see, because I think I learned enough to where if I just made a couple changes, it's ugly as shit. It's ugly as shit, and I'm borderline humorous decline foul. But I think,
But if you
I think I can still pull it off. But
if you
on
had,
that day, I could not.
Let's say that he does win. Let's say that he takes that 25% chance you're giving him and runs with it and manages to pull off the win. And let's say that you do end up facing him in December. If you have it between now and December, can you make it not ugly?
No, probably still gonna be ugly. Probably, but I can win. I can definitely win.
He's such a young, he's got several more years before he gets to what his prime will be.
Yeah, he's bad, dude. But see, he's always been bad. Like his dad was like a world champion or something. Like he's been a badass for a long time.
I want to cover something that people were asking.
Okay, but yeah, so there's a chance, 25% chance that actually we can't figure out the chances of me beating Vitali. If I'm successful against Vitali and he does beat Levon, then I will have a different. I mean, the prep won't be a whole lot different. It'll just be more specific towards fixing those holes, right? Levon, I think I can have the same thing I've been doing, just stronger,
Dennis Smith, Ermes did say he wanted another match before Levon, but I think that's changed.
It 100% changed. He said that in his post-match interview 1 week later once he got home.
He's like, no,
because I didn't know that he said that. And I didn't know that Vitali said he wanted more time.
Right.
So as soon as I heard they both wanted more time,
Michael's like,
I'm like, hey, I've got a venue in Arkansas. We can run this thing in June. Let's go. And then Ingrid messaged me that Ermes was taking the match.
Because that's the one thing. You're not ever going to be afraid. You're going to take a match.
Listen, I've already had this table arm land on the table behind me. After this bicep blow off the bone, what's to be afraid I'm not going to die. And if I die, I guess it was my time. But I mean, worst case scenario, I'm going to get hurt. Like, who gives a shit about getting hurt? Like, I fall more than anybody. Like, I get hurt all the damn time. So, like, I'm not worried about it.
So a lot of people I've seen asking, and I just wanted to cover this. So things did get a little heated during the match.
Oh yeah.
But it is cool.
Well, Ermes said he'd done the same thing.
Ermes said he would have done the same thing.
So I'm looking at the crowd and I'm, hey man, this kid's awesome, but I serve an awesome mighty God. Like, and I turn around and I see him aggressively pointing at Rebecca because Rebecca said it wasn't a pin, and he's like, and so he's doing this.
Yeah.
And I lost my shit.
He was telling me to stop and
it
hush.
Doesn't matter if it's Ermes, if it's Goliath, if it's my best friend.
He's got to switch. It goes just like that.
I can't help it. And so when I talk to him, I was like, hey man, bro, you understand? You're aggressively talking to her. He goes, no, I apologize. If you'd done it to my woman, I'd done the same thing. I'm like, hey bro, we're good. Like, this is still in the middle of the match. Like, we're still good. And then afterwards, well, we've always had great respect for one another. I mean, he was, I felt like, discounting where I was currently. And he even said I was a lot stronger than he thought I'd be because he thought he would just turn my palm over.
Couldn't.
But I still have holes. So I have things I have to work on. But yeah, as far as that's you're gonna get. You always get raw Michael Todd. There is no fake nothing. I'm the same guy day in, day out. I react the same way to the same stuff. There are certain things, like I try to be better. Like I really have tried a lot to be better.
You are.
Because I'm trying to be.
You have grown.
Well, I'm trying to be more Christ-like, but I am still human, and I still have triggers, and I have a defense.
We have faults.
I have defense protective nature that if you're in my inner circle. I'm fiercely protective of the ones I love.
And I'm really surprised at the number of people that we've seen on social media that were like not understanding of a man protecting his wife.
We live in strange times.
We live in very strange
times. And
I'm just wondering what kind of women they're finding to stand by them. Because
I don't care. People, I have learned to just kind of take social media, it's just people. I don't want to say anything negative about people. It's just people live different lives than we do. They're raised differently than we are. They see things differently than we do. That's pretty much what I got. I do think some statements are funny because even Trey made a statement earlier.
Trey's on here.
Love Trey. Trey was talking about Vitali. He goes, his wrist is weak. And I'm like, there's nothing about Vitali Lilletton that is weak. You know what I'm saying? But his least strong spot might be his wrist. Like, his hand is great. There are vulnerabilities. But when you're talking about people at this level of sport, there is nothing about these humans that are weak, compared to the rest of society. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, the rest of the world.
Or even compared to the majority
included,
of all. Yeah.
And 90% of the other arm wrestlers in the world. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing weak about any of these people.
No.
It may not be their strongest attribute.
Right.
But they have zero things about them that are weak. You know what I'm saying? So I find that humorous when people say that stuff.
So Andre L, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, "Do you consider pulling with the left hand? And if so, who?" Okay.
So Andre, we just talked about this. So I am training the left, and I did tell Ingen that I'll know by the end of April where my left is at. So if you thought it'd be a good match for me to pull Wagner Wardlato in June in the North America event, I would be happy to do that. And I think it's a great storyline because he's the one that my left elbow blew apart. So my left arm never broke, but my left elbow, medial ligament ripped off the bone, flexor mass rolled at the forearm, and the elbow dislocated about 6 inches. A lot of people think my arm broke. It didn't, but it was pretty catastrophic. If it would have broke, it would have healed back stronger. That was a Tommy John surgery, and there's still some issues with some inside the elbow tendon ligament stuff. But I think I can train it and get it pretty strong. And Wagner is someone who is currently ranked number 10 on the list. And I just think it's a great storyline. Like, I'm willing to let my shit blow apart again. You know what I'm saying? What's up? Let's go, you know? But yeah, I think my left will be fine.
So I'm going to answer a few questions here. So Roy 7? MMT and Rebecca, do you think East versus West will become mainstream? I think they're doing everything right. I think that the perfect formula is Ingen Terzi making matches, because he is a match wizard, and then having Robert and Dexter doing the promotion. I think it's the business promotion.
They have very good
really
ideas
good
moving forward. And one of the things...
They have good connections, too.
Very good connections. Yeah. I mean, Robert and Dexter are both very well-connected people. And a lot of the world is who you know, right? So they have very influential connections. So that's a great start. I do and have always believed that to become mainstream, there will have to be some sort of follow the athletes up to the big matches. Kind of like how the UFC and the boxing... You know, they have I don't even know what they call it now, 24/7 or what, you know, leading up to.
Didn't they kind of start that with Levon in Georgia?
A little bit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that has to be released before the pay-per-view.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't do it the week before. You do it 2 weeks before, and you have a badass team that releases it a week before, hyping up the pay-per-view, right?
Right.
And I also made a suggestion. So a pay-per-view card cannot be 7 hours. It just, not for mainstream.
You got it cut way down.
Let me finish. Yeah, it was way down. A pay-per-view, love you. Pay-per-view card cannot run 7 hours, just because mainstream will never watch 7 hours of arm wrestling. But I suggested, hey, Spike TV used to run the preliminaries, and now whoever does it runs the preliminaries of the UFC. Now it's not a full capacity. They only have so many people in there at the time, and it's free on whatever platform. And then we go into the main card pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. So you could run 3 hours of prelims for free, and during and after each match, buy the pay-per-view, buy the pay-per-view, buy the pay-per-view. I mean, we see this every time we watch any type of other sporting event, right? So that is a proven model that works. So I like the idea of running preliminary cards, moving into a pay-per-view.
Immediately before.
Yeah.
Kind of like how we did.
100%. Like,
yeah.
you know.
The very first Monster Factory, yeah.
Same thing. To me, it makes a ton of sense. And it's a proven model that works. So, but if you start behind the scenes building stories that you release in advance to the match, it's just, there are so many different characters in arm wrestling, not even just at the elite level, in the entire sport. There's so many unique people who do this sport. There's the camaraderie, there's the family vibe, all that good stuff. But those characters, if we can expose them to the masses, there are so many people out there who are going to relate to someone, one of those people. Oh, I see me in that guy. Wow, check this story out. Oh, he's so inspirational. He's so this, he's so that. That's what's going to make arm wrestling mainstream, because that's what makes most sports mainstream.
Yeah, and I see a lot of chatter out there. Oh, it's about the setups. No, it's really not. Because nobody cares about the setups taking 30 seconds or a minute if they're invested in the athlete.
I agree. I mean, so yes,
you know,
if you do not have a vested interest in the sport,
right,
you're not going to sit there and watch it.
No.
But if you had a fan base created through some of the things I've suggested, and you know, other people I'm sure have the same ideas, now you create an investment. Like, I had someone who just messaged earlier. He like, dude, I normally don't buy. I don't get into sports, but I was like biting my nails just watching. I could not believe I got so invested in your match. Like, because he's followed my story. You know, the story is, you know, I had this crazy injury. I have this belief that I can come back and accomplish all things through Christ. Like, it resonates with people. And it resonates with some people who want to see it succeed, and it resonates with others who think it's total crap and I'm going to lose and I suck. either way, people are watching. So at the end of the day, that's what you're trying to get.
I want to cover this, and you don't have to. Okay. Also, some people commented. Thank you, Dennis Smith, on Facebook. Commented on Michael's demeanor upon arrival to the versus West. I know you guys said you had some issues before departure. Everything okay? Anything to discuss, or just personal stuff, not for public? It's definitely personal. And if you were on my Facebook and stuff, you know that we definitely faced some issues before leaving. But that's
not an excuse. Like
not an excuse
I
at all.
chose to go,
Yeah.
and I gave the best performance I could give under the circumstances. So the better man won on that day. Nothing I can say about it.
But I want to where'd you go? Here we go, right there. Your thoughts. So we talked about this lightly early when we first came on. East versus West, or EV Warrior, thank you so much for the super chat. Your thoughts on the upcoming Devon versus Cory West left-handed match. I want to go first, and then you back it up.
All right.
I would have been so excited about this match if it was 4 or 5 months ago.
235 pound Devon, 250 pound Devon,
260 pound Devon, 270 pound Devon.
Yeah.
300 pound Devon.
He said he'll lose a little bit of weight, but it's still going to be Big Devon. Like
it's going to be Big Devon.
It's still Big Devon. So yeah, Cory is.
I'm a little nervous.
Cory has so much potential in this sport, and Cory has not dedicated himself to the sport yet. He is still trying to get his career path under. He's creating financial security for him and his family.
Right.
Because of that, and prior to that, he had a bunch of other hobbies that took his time. We do not know how good Cory West can become.
Right.
Current Cory West, I believe, is stronger than Devon. I believe Devon's a way better arm wrestler.
Yes.
He has so much experience. Cory doesn't really ever have like anxiety or stress or nervousness about matches. He just goes in and arm wrestles, right?
But he also doesn't have aggression.
He has occasionally. Occasionally we see it come out. And in a U.S. crowd in Arlington with his family there, I think we might see it, right?
Okay.
But
on that note,
all that being said, Cory's only path to victory is a gap in strength where he just runs him over. That's what has to happen. Love Cory. But if he cannot run him over and get the matches pinned, and even if it's not ran over, these matches have to be finished in 10, 15 seconds, 20 seconds at most. Because if he doesn't finish them faster than that, he won't get 3 pins.
let me ask you this real quick.
Unless there's a gap in strength.
On the note about him not having aggression, as soon as I said that, I remember seeing it once. And it was against an opponent that he had felt had disrespected him. And he got aggressive on goal at that match. So this is my question, because we know that Devon is already going to start with the head games, right? Do you think that that could be counterproductive in his match versus Cory? If he pisses him off right in the right way?
If you piss Cory off, then he could be very aggressive.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Cory's going to, I don't think it gets to him. I don't think the people...
Maybe we need to let it get to him.
Yeah, Devon's going to be Devon, and Devon's going to promote the match, and he's going to sell the card, and he's going to... Hell, they may end up being the main event. Like, Cory may be the main event.
What's so funny is I saw him post that he was about to be number one, both arms in Arkansas.
And I did not see my laughing emoji. Devon's a hard ass for anybody right now, right in it. He's... now, there is a chance that he comes down here, and we work on a few things before that match. Like, we won't get on the table and bang, but just work on some setup things, a few other things he thinks that might help me advance a little bit further in not losing so much in the setup in my start, right? Which is cool. And then Coach Ray may stop by
afterwards.
No, beforehand, I think.
Oh, really?
I think so. I think we had talked to Sarah and Mikey about them stopping by after, but that was before she had a match. So, but still, they may come out and train. Okay. We got the Monster Factory completed now, so everybody's welcome to come, right? But the match between Devon and Cory needs to be a level stronger, and it's not impossible because Devon just started training his left again, right? But
When you say just, it's actually been a bit, hadn't it?
since he pulled Levon, yeah.
Okay.
So April.
Okay.
So I guess 10 months. Yeah, so it's been a bit.
Yeah.
So,
but he's hitting practices 3 nights a week.
4, he said.
4 nights
Monday,
a week.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
That's table time.
Yeah.
You know. Gene Crobel, thank you so much for the super chat. Who are the 3 nicest personalities in arm wrestling?
Richard Lupke's, Lars Erbakken. I don't know.
You guys, I don't know how I can express to you what a good friend Lars is.
Very good guy.
My daughter has asked if you would consider adopting him too, so that our daughter, so that we can all just all be siblings, or they can be siblings. But he is a phenomenal,
very good guy,
character of a man. I mean, just like I don't know that I've met any better.
Yeah, Richard Lupke's, Lars Erbakken.
Yeah.
Who else?
Nice. I don't know of anybody that's just an outright dick.
Well, I do.
Well, I used to, but he's kind of gotten nice now.
Yeah. No, so I don't know. I'm just, everyone else, like, for me, it drops off right after those 2. Not significant, but those are the very first 2 that came to mind.
Like Cory is very nice. He'll do anything for you.
Could do.
I was worried about Michael back a couple of years ago, and Cory's messaging me at night. You tell me if you've got to take him to the hospital, whatever. So, like, the people that are in with Michael, they're really in. It's just everybody's like family. So there are so many.
I can't think of a third one right now. I'm sure there's plenty of nice people, but I can't think of a third.
But it's because you're saying the nicest. And the thing is that there are so many good characters. Craig Touye is an awesome man.
Craig. Yeah.
Craig Touye is awesome.
But Craig and I go back way
back.
So far.
y'all ever show up at a place where both of them guys are? Just stand by and listen to the stories because
we go so far back.
All I'm going to say is somebody might have had a bit of a bath in some sewage.
I still feel bad about that. All right, what we got here?
Great stories.
Yeah.
And we got Deep Pockets in ENT says, Mike, the run you went on post-surgery was phenomenal. Don't use past tense. Still, it took the number 3 super heavyweight in the world to pin you. Keep going. There's still a path to Levon. Yes, there is.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. And like I said, someone said, if I'm not doing this for me, I should just retire. They don't understand. They don't understand my faith and belief and the reason this is important.
I may not understand a character that says, I'm not doing anything if it's not for me. That's very narcissistic.
Well, I don't care. Someone said it, and it just resonated to me that it's funny if people think I should, like, the comments are, so many people are supportive, but you do have the occasional person that I'm nothing without a king's move, blah, 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 all this stuff. But yeah, if it takes a king's move to beat Levon, so be it. You know what I'm
all the way, baby.
I'm telling you, we were fully committed to that path. But yeah.
Yeah, so the Drew 24, Cory is a part-timer in arm wrestling, is that good. He's kind of like Vitali was before. Yeah, so there are just some people that are naturally gifted strength individuals, okay? And Cory's one of them. He is a very strong individual. And
like I told Devon, him grabbing a master lock and just snapping with his bare hands.
Right.
And Devon commented on that. It's crazy. The level of strength that Cory possesses naturally is just, it's very rare to see people who are as strong as Cory.
Dark Lord Cody Merritt is a very good guy. Like I said,
Cody, yep, great guy.
If you ask to name the 3 nicest, you're going to be leaving so many out because there are just so many. But we can talk about the people in our immediate circle that they're filled with nice people.
Good people.
You know? Don't understand commitment.
So Brian Shaw showing up to Monster Factories anytime soon. We have spoke about it. We don't have no confirmed dates or anything. And then it was mentioned about me possibly going out there. We will just have to see. I'm enjoying watching his progress and his excitement about arm wrestling. It's pretty cool. So,
How about who is not so nice? The Dream 24. I am not naming any names. All right,
Yeah,
I'll just let
funny.
you know that I don't associate with them. So if you've seen me associating with them in any way, you can consider them that they're pretty nice people. Folks that are not nice, I don't talk to. Spend any time.
No, you don't really. Just Zornoff, bad dude. I don't know if you're talking about him being the nice guy or him just being a badass arm wrestler, but yeah.
Scary.
Prior to Vitali dismantling him, we thought Zornoff might be the next guy, you know?
Right.
Just like we thought Rivas might be the next guy because he had prior history with Levon until Zornoff dismantled him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. And on that note, because I just saw say Travis he's something about Travis, and I just made me think Travis Bagent.
He's saying he's an easy call out for not being a nice guy.
There you go. So, Travis Bagent, the comment that he made after the match, right? We're sitting down there in the lobby, and he's like, dude.
Oh, when I cussed him?
Maybe. The only thing that I can, no, different comment. The only thing that I can do in this sport is commentate. He's like, go line up everyone who lost at East versus West 16.
Yeah.
The guys who lost. And then ask yourself, do you deserve to be up there? You know what I'm saying? Like, the guys who lost. I mean, Alex Kardashian got ran over left-handed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Irakli. Morozov.
Oh my God. I mean, like, it's, I mean, Gennady Quickmania, me. I mean, it's just crazy. Mullen, 3-0, 4-0 sweep.
Fia.
Bam, 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 bam. Fia won.
Yeah.
Mullen's the one that lost. You know what
I
I'm saying?
know.
And we picked Mullen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, man. If
Fia was
just go
crazy.
look. Oh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But that's what consistency's done. She's been nonstop for the last 5 years. Mullen's taking a little break here and there, whatever. And that just shows you how much a person can progress. But yeah, it's the sport is at a very high level. So it's a lot of fun to be in the mix and being on this path and doing what I think is a way to just shine light on my belief in what I think is all things are possible, right? So.
And on that note, Jace Larson says, thank you so much for the super chat, Jace. Thank you for using your platform to speak about our Savior Jesus Christ. Just want y'all's opinion on Devon versus Vitali.
Of course, man. I feel like I'm blessed to have this platform, and I want to use it to just spread the word, right? But yeah, Vitali, Devon. I don't. How do you pick anybody over Devon except for Levon, right? Like,
I can't pick anybody over
now, can Devon do to Ermes what he did to this version of Ermes? If he can, then he's very special. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like that's what he started training his riser and pronation and all that stuff after he lost to Devon, right?
That would be very interesting.
Yeah, very,
I would like
very,
to see
very,
that.
very interesting. You know what I'm saying? But Vitali and Devon, Vitali has the long lever, so Devon doesn't have the leverage advantage. Vitali has a super fast hit. Devon doesn't have as sticky of an open top roll as I do. But the setup, everything else that happens, all the things that Devon does, I think he may lose a couple rounds and ends up winning the whole thing, right? I mean, worst case scenario for Devon. I think it's worst case 3-2 Devon.
Versus Vitali.
Yeah, worst case.
Closing in on 200,000. Congrats, you guys. God is
Where are we
good.
at?
It's at
Like
170
something.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, do you think you and Dennis will ever face again?
I do have a legends clause in my contract to pull him because I would like to. You know what I'm saying?
Wrong one.
I would like to pull him. I don't think we're pulling anytime soon. Let me see. Yeah, we're almost at 176.
All right, so Ryan_armwrestling says, who is Michael Todd's comeback match? That's not been set yet, but he has put up both hands asking for
Vitali Lillet.
in May. Get out there on social media. Tell England y'all want to see Michael Todd versus Vitali in May in Kazakhstan.
We don't know where it's at yet.
Oh, did I say something else I wasn't supposed to?
You always do. We don't know where the location is. It's Europe or Asia. It's Europe. It's Eastern.
Oh, it's between two places.
At least two places.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Devon is straight up stronger than Vitali. Someone said.
Devon's strong in a lot of places. It's just, is he stronger in all the places? You know what I mean?
Hey, Michael, what is your current? Where'd you go? Here we go. What is your current form like compared to the 2018 form versus Dave?
I pulled Dave in 2019.
Yes.
So I would say I'm better. Like, I did this heavier back circuit versus going into Ermes than I did versus Dave. And then I way stronger arm wrestling specific movements, right? The form versus Dave, though, I was like 265, 270, had abs, felt good. This 300-pound me was a little bit different. I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably the best arm wrestling form I've ever been in, I would assume. Like, I've been stronger on gym lifts, but I've never been stronger in arm wrestling specific movements than I am now. But we got
Dennis, we don't know when the next Monster Factory event is because Michael has got to fight. You've got to focus.
Well, yeah.
On what your stuff is.
We'll see what happens if that's my match. If that's okay, so if I don't get Vitali in May, I'm not pulling in May.
Right.
Like, I'm only going to pull on Mother's Day weekend if it's for a shot at Levon, right?
Yeah.
If it's not, then I will wait till the June event.
Right.
You know, that's fine. I'll just wait till then to be on the card. And it could be right in again, then I can maybe get the left up, whatever, I don't care. But the only way I'm pulling in May is if it's for Vitali for the shot at Levon. Otherwise, I'll wait till June. So we'll just have to see. But Monster Factory events, we have the facility, have everything done. Unfortunately, those events are quite expensive, and without sponsorships, we can't hold them. So right now, we're not in a position to even go out because I can't be focused on getting sponsors for events when I'm trying to train for, this comeback. But I think there are people out there that want to make it happen, and we could probably pull together some funds to make a good card. It's just the big cards that we've had are like 20 grand,
right?
And that's expensive.
So, are we going to Arlington? Have you made a decision?
I talked to them yesterday, and they do have parking at the hotel.
Ooh.
But we would have to drive from the hotel the day of the event over to the stadium and park the RV there.
So would we have a special place to park?
I don't know about that. I haven't talked to the stadium. I'd have
Okay.
to ask. I have to talk to Robert about that. I haven't got that far. But I know the hotel has parking for semis and stuff in the back. So we can park there. We can't go to Arlington if we have to board our dogs again.
We got one that's not doing well.
So I have to take my dogs with me. The only way to do that is take the RV.
Yeah. He does look like a leopard, doesn't he? He is a Bengal.
Yeah, he's
from Kentucky Wildcat Bengals.
6 generations from an Asian leopard.
He's a badass.
All right, and he'll bite you, I promise.
He will bite you.
He will love on you and love on you and love you, and then just open his teeth and go,
And he will bite you. Yeah. So we have got 400 people on. Guys, if you have not subscribed yet to Michael's channel and turned on your notifications, all of them, you won't be notified next time that we go live or when we drop some more content, which is going to be being produced soon for you guys.
Right.
So be sure that you have turned on all notifications on your phones as well so that you can be notified. And be sure to comment on this stream, and that will tell YouTube again that you want to be notified. You got to do all the things for them.
All the things.
All the things for them, yes.
Well, I have got to eat and use the restroom. And Ryan's on his way over for us to train.
My son.
Yeah.
My son is back into arm wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So, guys, your marching orders again. Be sure you subscribe to this channel, but also go out there on social media. Let Ingan know Michael's raising both hands.
Obviously, the left hand goes higher.
Vitali.
The left hand goes higher. You know what I'm saying? But
in May.
yeah.
All
right. It's a big ask, guys, but I will train as hard as I can for that match.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much for joining in. And as always, we appreciate the support. Talk to you again soon.
Take care.